People, I hope you all are doing great. So another major breaking, this is an exclusive news. This has to do with, generalization of, let's say, prices of goods and services in the country. So recently, President Bola Tinubu's government has approved 15% fuel import duty. According to him, this is moved to give Dangote Refinery advantage over independent marketers because it seems that the amount at which Dangote is supplying fuel to Nigerian NNPC is higher compared to all it can take for you to buy fuel all the way from Brazil and even clear it in Nigerian customs. So as a result of this, Tinubu has moved to restrict memo. He shook. This is what stakeholders say that is actually designed to give billionaire Aliko Dangote's Lagos refinery a sweeping advantage over independent fuel importers. Now, like I said earlier, this particular incident is something that can trigger hike in the prices of goods and services in the country. How can this aid in the increase of prices of goods and services? Remember that recently, very dark man is busy start shouting online, dragging Bill, saying that Bill is a thief, is overpricing. Yeah, we understand overpricing is a sin, it's not good. Then again, but in Nigeria, they don't regulate price. And now Tinubu is trying to put 15%. Actually, he's trying to regulate the prices at which people who import fuel all the way from overseas to the country. He's ensuring that those that that refine fuel like Dangote is doing in the country, at least they are selling at an equilibrium, at a balanced price. Now, what and what will this do? Remember, people who are importing all the way from abroad, according to the news we heard a few months ago, we hear that the amount of money at which we import goods, we import fuel from Brazil to Nigeria, even when you sell it per liter, is even lower to what we are buying in Nigeria. That shows that why is Aliko Dangote selling his own refined fuel at a higher rate to the NNPC? He choke. Anyway, let's take this news as it is from Sarah Reporter. They say the President Bola Tinubu-led Nigerian government has approved a new 15% import duty on premium motor spirits, petrol, and diesel. According to this authoritatively report, this is attached is this particular memo obtained by Sarah reporters on Thursday morning, and is what stakeholders said. Actually, they designed this to give billionaire Aliko Dangote, Lagos Refinery, a sweeping advantage over independent fuel importers. So the memorandum dated October 21st, 2025, with reference number press 8197 slash HAGF slash 100 slash 71 slash FIRS slash 40 slash 88 dash 2 slash NMDPRA slash 2 was circulated from the State House to the Attorney General of the Federation, the Federal Inland Revenue Service, and the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. The memo signed by the Damilotun Aderemi, the private secretary to the president, conveyed President Bola Tinubu's approval for a new market-responsive import tariff framework on petrol and diesel import. Both sources said that behind the official justification lies a larger scale to lock out independent marketers and grant the Dangote refinery near total control over Nigeria's downstream petroleum supply. This is another means of monopoly. Well, according to the memo, the 15% import duty assessed on the cost, insurance, and freight, known as CIF value, of imported petrol and diesel is aimed at reinforcing national energy security and protecting local refiners. The Tinubu government, on the surface, claims the move will stabilize the downstream markets and align import costs with domestic realities. At current CIF levels, the memo projects that the new tariff will add 99 naira 72 kobo per litre to the landing cost of imported petrol, pushing the average Lagos pump price to 964 naira 72 kobo per litre. That is $0.62, which officials argue remains below regional averages. So sources privy to the situation, however, say that the real motive is not price stabilization, but market capture. The sources also added that the new tariff would not apply to Dangote Refinery, which the Tinubu administration has classified as part of an export processing zone. This export processing zone classification allows Dangote to import crude and export refined products tax-free, while other marketers must now pay the 15% duty, a 7.5% VAT, and an existing 5% petroleum consumption tax, totaling over 30% in levies. This memo reveals plan to uplift Dangote Refinery to the detriment of others. Currently, Dangote has 18 million litres and marketers are importing 32 million litres of fuel to cater to domestic needs. Tinubu's Lebanese ally, known as Gilbert Chagori, is putting pressure so that Dangote now has to import 40 million litres. Zach wrote this memo. There is already 5% petroleum consumption tax to impose a 15% import duty. A 7.5% VAT rate would yield a 30% total, which is 930 naira plus 270 naira. Dangote to import the rest. One of the top sources revealed. Dangote Refinery will be exempt because of a deal between FIRS, which is Federal Inland Revenue Service. They claim Dangote Refinery is export processing zone, so he will be able to import the rest. This is 14 billion naira daily. Jesus. The tax bill is to take effect next year, 2026. But this one by Tinubu has an immediate effect. The proposed tariff will also yield an estimated 14 billion naira daily in new taxes, funds that will flow into a designated FGN revenue account supervised by FIRS, now renamed Nigeria Revenue Service. However, economists warn the move could further worsen fuel inflation and trigger black market hoarding, especially if marketers withdraw from the supply chain. So it is ironic that a government claiming to promote competition is busy imposing taxes that benefit only one refinery owned by one man in a country, said a senior industry economist who reviewed the memo. Once Dangote controls supply, he set the price, and that is monopoly, not reform, according to this economist. So it is also noted that Dangote Group, Sarah reporters, when they contacted Dangote Group for comment, an official who spoke anonymously dismissed the allegations as rubbish. You dismiss it as rubbish, but Tinubu just imposed 15% on all import fuels, diesels, and others. So this allegation is rubbish and not true, the Dangote official said. How can we be importing what we are producing massively? These are the handworks of people who don't want this project to work. There is nowhere the government mentioned Dangote in their memo. We have nothing to do with it. It's a lie, Oga. It's a lie. Remember what this guy said in one particular interview, the deputy, that's the vice president, known as Shetima. Shetima is, if we don't treat Dangote well, how will others, think of how will they look at us? And then the same Shetima has failed to talk about or condemn the ongoing demolition, illegal demolition of different people's business, especially from people from the southeast in Lagos State. Does it mean your interest is only on your brother? Because Dangote is a Fulani man. He's from the north. He's not from the Yoruba land. Why are they trying to monopolize this man again and all over again? Why this man is not even contributing anything to the growth of the country? He's only maximizing his profits. He's only enriching himself and his group. It's of no help to all of us. As a matter of fact, it is Nigeria that is patronizing him inside Nigeria. Instead of us to benefit from this man, rather this man truck keep crushing innocent Nigerians on daily basis in different states and in different roads. As a result of, employing unlicensed drivers who are not even capable enough to drive properly on roads. Honestly, this is really shocking, my people. I don't know how you guys see this, but honestly, it is really sad. It's really, really sad. Independent marketers should be looking at refining crude locally too. This should be an advice to them. Because I don't understand a country that knows too well that people that are into bunkering, especially in Imo State, in Delta, there are people who are doing bunkering, right? People who refined this crude locally to get both fuel, diesel, what do they call it, kerosene and others. What is obstructing the government, the NNPC, from importing these people? from not sorry, not importing, from employing these people. Bring these people, employ them, let them teach you guys how to do it. We have natural gas. Why are we still importing refined gas all the way from overseas? Why is Nigeria still depending on others for us to get our refined both diesels or all our refined oils? It is really sad. It is really, really sad. As old as Nigeria is, at 65, Nigeria still did not know its left and right. Nigeria still did not want to be independent of on its own. Nigeria doesn't want to prosper. Nigeria doesn't want good things to happen to its citizens. Nigeria doesn't want people to benefit from the country they call their own. Nigeria doesn't want the citizens of the nation to enjoy from the natural resources as a result of the selfishness of the politicians who have jeopardized the interest of the citizens, and they call themselves leaders. These are not leaders. They are looters. They are not leaders. They loot. It seems that these people, they know what they are doing. It seems that they are benefiting a lot from this Dangote refinery of a thing. Because I don't see the reason why somebody's, refining oil in our nation, yet the prices of these oils are at higher rates. It is really, really ridiculous. It is really something else. Eh? This is to discourage fuel importation, for crying out loud. At this material time, important duty should be around 35% to 50%. This will help us look inward, not only in oil and gas, also in other sectors. Anyway, Mr. Bola Tinubu, the president of the country, we understand where you are coming from. You want Nigerians to appreciate locally produced, goose. We love that. But what is good for the goose is also good for the ganders. We have somebody in Southeast who is producing cars locally. Quality cars. Innoson is producing cars in Nigeria. Tinubu, the same way you are imposing heavy 15% tax on all import fuels, you should also impose anything that has to do with importation of cars in Nigeria, include excessive tax on it. The same way you increase importation of fuel tax, also increase the importation of cars, increase their tax. Innoson is an Igbo man. He is also a Nigerian. It's not only Dangote group that are Nigerians. Dangote is not the owner of Nigeria. Dangote is not the only one that is doing business in the country. As a matter of fact, if you want to do the right thing, also do it perfectly. As you are doing it to please Dangote, you should also do that to please Innoson. Innoson is doing the same thing. Innoson is producing cars. Let Nigerians value what they have. Let Nigerians patronize him. Nigerians should learn how to patronize Innoson and not to be importing cars. They should stop importing cars. The same way you are imposing 15% tax on importation of fuel, use that particular medium to impose 15% tax on importation of cars. Let's see if people will patronize what they have in the country or not. Enough of all these shenanigans. Enough of all these things. You only choose to, you guys have preference. You have whom you can patronize, you have whom you can protect, and the others, because they are Igbo people, you don't give a damn, you don't give a shit. That is problem in the country. This is not reform. This is extortion, for crying out loud. You are trying to monopolize this man. You are monopolizing the oil sector to this man. That is why you are abusing, haunting all these bunkers. All this locally refined oil. People that refine oil locally. You guys are busy going against them. You want everybody to buy from Dangote. 250 million population in the country. You want us to only patronize Dangote. All the food that you want us to be using in this country should come from Dangote. Is this still not sad? This is monopoly, for crying out loud. This is not a way a country should move forward. As a matter of fact, you should allow the country, you should allow this man to compete with others. Allow them to compete, fairly. And not monopolizing his own business, for crying out loud. Why imposing 15%? If you want to impose 15% on fuel, equally impose it on car. Let Nigerians, 250 million Nigerians, let them patronize Innoson. Innoson is producing cars locally. You cannot tell us that you don't know that Innoson is producing car in Anambra State. What obstructs you as the government from saying, okay, since we have someone from Igbo land who is producing this locally in Igbo land, okay, let's impose 15% tax on all imported cars. Let Nigerians patronize their own person. Let Nigerians patronize Innoson. The same way you want us to patronize Dangote. Yes. The only mean that Dangote is becoming richer, richer, and richer and richer on a daily basis is because of monopoly being given to him by the government. But it's so sad. In business, in marketing, there are competitors. Allow them to compete, fairly. That is it. If you want to impose something, don't impose it in such a way that you want to monopolize the other. You want the other to have fairness. You want the others to have more advantage than others. No. People who are going outside to import, they're also spending money. Do you get the point? If you don't impose that particular 15%, then why are you trying to monopolize Dangote in this manner? If it happened that you did not put 15%, it shows that the fuel that these people are importing all the way from outside, from overseas, are even lesser in terms of per liter compared to what Dangote is selling inside Nigeria. Someone that is locally refining fuel, refining all this oil, is selling at a higher rate compared to people who import this fuel, this oil all the way from overseas. That is to tell you the kind of country we find ourselves. Very dark man, you are busy fighting someone like Billord. Like I keep saying, Billord is not the main problem in the country. Your problem is your government. Imagine monopolizing Dangote. No. Now, nobody wants to monopolize nothing because he is an Igbo man. Nobody wants to do that. And I learned recently, Lagos State government, Lagos State University, they now have a sector where they are learning how to produce cars. And guess what? In near future to come, if Nigeria is still one, guess what will happen? They will impose excessive tax on importation of cars because it is happening in Yoruba land. Because it is happening by Yoruba people. And that is so sad. We are all Nigerians. If you don't want to include Igbos in your decision, if you don't want us to benefit the way other people are benefiting, then allow these people to go for crying out loud. And not, pleasing others and blinking an eye as if it doesn't see what is happening in other places. This is really sad. This is monopoly in broad daylight. Guys, what do you think? What do you think about this? No, don't get me wrong. I am not against, patronizing locally made goods. I love that. But what is good for the geese is also good for the ganders. Do you get the point? As it is imposing 15% on importing fuels, it should equally do so on importation of cars because we have someone that locally produce cars in Nigeria. As you are doing it for a Fulani man, you want the Fulani man to benefit as well. An Igbo man should also benefit. Enough of all this. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. If the prices of the fuel these people are buying all the way from overseas importing to Nigeria, when they are being sold at the rate of just per liter is lower compared to what Dangote is selling his own, automatically there is a problem in the country. There is a really big problem in the country. Very dark man, this is when you have to come in. It's not all about going to drag Billord. Billord is not the problem. Have you asked yourself how much these people pays when they take their goods all the way from China to Nigeria? They have to pay for landing fee, and this guy doesn't use ocean. This guy do his own kwam. He use flight, for crying out loud. You're expected to pay landing fee. Not only paying landing fee, from the country you want to send off your goods to Nigeria, you have to pay over there. Everything is in kilo. When you pay there, you also pay in Nigeria when your goods arrive. You pay landing fee, you also pay custom fee. After paying that, clearing it in Lagos, this guy will still ship his goods all the way from Lagos with flight again to Anambra State, where he will still go there, clear the same thing. At the end of the day, you don't want this guy to make a single profit simply because he went to China. You see the problem? And now look at what is happening. People who are even trying to make life easier for the citizens of the country by ensuring that they bring fuel all the way from overseas to the country. At least they'll be selling it at a lower rate compared to what this man is selling. And if these people are to sell at a lower rate, this will force Dangote to reduce his own price and sell at the same rate, which will make things fair in the country. But Tinubu doesn't want that. He wants Nigerians to suffer. Indeed, Tinubu, you came to suffer us. You didn't come for Nigerians to enjoy. You have shown us that you came to pay us, and pay we shall receive. But no worry, I won't make you say nobody lasts here forever. Tinubu, where is your former president? Your predecessor, where is he? One of your predecessors, where is he? Buhari is dead and gone. He don't buy. As a matter of fact, by now he don't decay. Now only bone in there for that underground where they bury him. So make say all your shenanigans, all the things where you do for this country, And you think, say, tomorrow, after showing us all this paper, you think, say, Nigerians go love your son? You think, say, we go value your son the way they do us? Oh, no. You go still leave power tomorrow now. You go still leave power. So what will you be remembered for? What integrity? What are you leaving behind? Imagine, because Nigerians, everybody are talking and shouting that, why did you pardon drug convicts? Why did you pardon somebody that was sentenced to life imprisonment, this and that, someone that murdered her husband, this and that? All of a sudden, you now make U-turn. You make U-turn. Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, just know that you are not God, and nothing lasts forever. Nobody can last on power forever. Eventually, one day you are going to step down. Anyway, my lovers, let's not talk too much regarding this. It is good to patronize our locally made goods, like the way we are patronizing Abakaliki rice, the way we are patronizing Aba-made shoes, wares, and other things, the way we are patronizing our locally made dolls and other things. I love that. But it's also necessary for us to know the reason why these people are imposing 15% import tax rates on fuel importers. I want you guys to be the judge. Is this thing fair? I ask. Remember, there is Bua. I think there is new refinery that they are doing now in Akwa Ibom, in Calabar. I think, yes, they are building new refinery. By God's special grace, they say that by next year that they will start functioning. I pray they do quick to start functioning. At least that one is very close to Igbo land. It's very, very close to the southeast. Very, very. And I pray that the government should also allow these people and Dangote to be fair in competition. They should not side anybody. As a matter of fact, the government should also ensure that the prices at which they are selling all this fuel should be at its minimum and not at a higher rate, so that at least a common Nigeria can be able to afford a liter of fuel, for crying out loud. We are too poor in this country. Stop doing as if we are too rich. We are not. Nigerians are not rich. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we are not rich. Nigerians are struggling, as a matter of fact. Nigerians are struggling. Stop doing as if Nigerians are very poor. The way you are gathering all our monies, enriching yourself and your family, don't think that everybody is doing so. May God help his children. Guys, what are your thoughts regarding this? Kindly tell us in the comment section. This 15% tax rate imposed on a fuel importation by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which is taking immediate effect. Do you think that this is fair? Or is that something that is behind this? Or do you think, like I said earlier, it's monopoly to this man? They're trying to monopolize Dangote's refinery. So I want you guys to be the judge in the comment section. Drop your opinion and your thoughts. If this is your first time coming across our channel, don't forget to subscribe. Turn on the bell button so you always get notified whenever you post our latest content. I remember my humble self, Chidinma Clement. Thanks for watching. I love you guys.